And this is the last little piece of Brother Reggie's paper. So I'm just going to start exactly where I left off. I want to add that in all of the bull coats, the sacred bulls in almost entirety, I want to add that all of the bull coats and the sacred bulls were black in almost entirety or have black markings also. There were various places where the bull was a component of the names in the article Black Bull Standards of Ancient Egypt by G.A. Wainwright. It begins with the following. Four of the nomes of the Delta had standards displaying a bull accompanied by some other object. They were the sixth Zeus, the 10th Atribus, the 11th the Cabasite, and the 12th Sabenitus. Newberry has already shown that the emblems of these standards are the sacred objects of their districts and that the symbol in front of the bull in each case is not to be interpreted as an epithet but is itself a sacred object. What is important here is not the European Convention but the actual standards of the places and that they are considered sacred objects by the author. However, the 10th note called Atribus by the author using the convention has great significance, which I will cover in part here. The Thiele's listing of the known following. Chem, where you see it here, greater black, and then you see it here again. So let's go down. Here it is described as the Great Black. In the TLA lemma number 164350, the word chem is epilogue of the god of Atribus. The place name Kemet, to paraphrase the comments of Dr. Marabidi in the 2019 ASCAT conference, he stated this term Kemet has evolved kind of like Hesi. This term Kemet has evolved from a descriptive social content and has taken on a different geopolitical convention and environment of the first intermediate period that culminates with Mentuhotep II, but does not begin with Mentuhotep II. What they are saying, the Egyptians, on a geopolitical level, is that we're the black country. They stated this to reaffirm who they are as a people, also in the context of their principal opposition of Western Asia. Dr. Carruthers revisited this issue all the time, referring to them as the miserable Asiatic. He is wretched because of the place he is in, short of water, bare of wood, his paths are many and painful because of the mountains. He does not dwell in one place. Food propels his legs. He fights since the time of Horus. I made Lower Egypt attack them. I captured their inhabitants. I seized their cattle until the Asiatics abhorred Kemet. All of this is translated in Kemet as Egypt. It goes beyond talking about the soil, and that is with the town determinative Nuit. Gardner translates the determinative Nuit in his hieroglyphic sign book, implying an inhabited region. That is, you are talking about the country and its people. What the Egyptians are talking about when they say Kemet as a black country, they are talking about both the country and the people. The question of race. It is pointless to argue the question of race with respect of the ancient Egyptians. The opponents of the ancient Egyptians have never put forth a scientific argument that the multidisciplinary approach involving linguistic analysis, Egyptian grammar, and a syncretism analysis on the exact sentence that may prove or disprove their points of race. Opponents of a black African population of ancient Egypt just simply state their points in the institutions where they have hegemony. Sheikh Anta Diop, UNESCO, the opponents with their own methods have not been proven incorrect to this day. In Egyptian, words are normally followed by the determinative, which indicates the exact sense. And for this particular expression, Egyptology suggests that Kem equals black and that the color qualifies the determinative which follows it and which signifies country. Accordingly, they claim the translation should be the black earth from the color of the loom or the black country and not the country of the black man, as we should be inclined to render it with black white Africa in mind. Perhaps so. But if we apply this rule rigorously to Kemet, we are forced to conclude the adjective black qualifies the determinative, which signifies the whole people of Egypt, shown by the two symbols for man and woman, and the three strokes below them, which indicate the plural. Thus, it is possible to voice a doubt. Thus, it is possible to voice a doubt as regards the explanation. Kemi, it is possible to do so in the case of the two adjectives of nationality, Kemet and Kemetiu, unless one is picking one's argument completely at random. Conclusion. In this paper, I have shown important statements of the African of the Nile, in which is referred to here as Kemet civilization. These statements were analyzed in their context and with syncretism. I've attempted to show that these African people deify themselves in God forms. Black person and Kemet was shown to be a personification of the sacred black ram of cattle. This examination is consistent with and affirms the position and argument that both Sheikh Anta Diop and Theophilo Banga presented at the Cairo Symposium of UNESCO, which is that Kemet can only mean one thing, Negro, in the Pharaonic tongue. I agree with other linguists such as Netanel, who have used linguistics to agree with Diop and thus not and though not covered here, the overall point that other forms of Kemet written language such as the Mali and Coptic continue the syncretism of meaning to date. No peer-reviewed articles or studies have emerged that can negate the arguments presented here regarding the meaning of Kemet and Kemetu as black people and or those blacks. I also want to state that the grapheme Kemet means more than Egyptian, but describes who they are through syncretism. That is to say, the grapheme Kemet comes out of a geopolitical situation that Dr. Mario Beatty describes in the 2019 ASCAC conference. Hopefully, more data can be found, particularly on the 12th dynasty, that speaks directly to the naming of Kemet grapheme. Though, no, though not directly covered, I disagree with an out of Africa connection of the place name of Kemet. The civilization sat on a foundation and modeled itself. Thus, those that believe otherwise should present scientific evidence of this. Here's some endnotes. The 36th annual Kemetic Conference, ASCAC 2019. Number 2, UNESCO and Mohammed Jamal al-Din Boutin, 1981, General History of Africa, London, educational book, page 1. So these are the endnotes and some of the and different things here. I will go through the bibliography and sources as well. Ibid for footnote 344, UNESCO, page 41. For footnote number 5, Gordon Richards, Syncretism, Oxford Classical Dictionary, March 7, 2016. Ascended 11, August 2019. And here is the web page here. So I can leave it on there for a second so you can actually take screenshots and look at these different things. For footnote number 6, Regaliski, Ilana, The Origins, Early Development of Writing in Egypt, Oxford Handbooks Online, May 2nd, 2016. Assessed 11th of August 2019. Here's the web page here. For footnote number 7, Reggie Salim, The Roots of Nubian Christianity uncover the triumph of the last pharaoh, Trenton, New Jersey, African world. So let me blow this up a little bit so you guys can take screenshots. And at some point, I will look for some of these different things here, and we'll probably go through them in another video. But I'm gonna go a little slowly so you can take screenshots of everything, because everything is very well sourced. And if you actually download the paper, you can have they have some here that you could click on. So what I'm gonna do when I post this video, I'm gonna put a link for the paper in the description, so you can actually read it for yourself. So here again are some more footnotes that I'm not going to read because it's so well sourced. This is a lot to read. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to once again post the paper so you can get it, and whatever links are here are clickable. I think I'm going to do another video, and whatever links I could click on, I'm going to click on those links and we're going to discuss it. So all of you have a blessed and wonderful night.